So um, and if you have two people who live like that and who let go of this idea of the empathy towards the vessel and move their empathy towards the state, the spirit, then pretty much a lot of fun. So, in the essence, I want to conclude there is no such thing as a collective, it's imaginary, and that imagination then creates immediate experience through the illusion of the collective. Okay? If we cut that out, and I explained the way we cut that out is by not having empathy towards the vessel. Basically, you can watch the videos that's happening on YouTube and you have no reaction to it because it's artificial anyway. It's not real. So if you don't have empathy towards your laptop, you probably shouldn't have, because if you have empathy towards your laptop, every time like there's a virus or it doesn't work, you're gonna get pissed off. And if you don't have empathy, what that empathy is being replaced is with compassion. And what does the compassion means? It's basically a peaceful state. So it's actually quite interesting because at first there's apathy, then there's empathy, and then there's compassion. And then apathy and compassion has something in common. They both cannot be moved, but one acts through the tyranny and the other one acts through peace and love. So I don't know about you, but through all my life I've learned to choose compassion over empathy. I obviously at the same time kind of invite everybody who considers themselves empaths to drop that bullshit too, because, and I invite you to investigate it for yourself if that's indeed true. If that's indeed true. And you may question even, you may question me and say like, what do you mean? So how can I live life without empathy? How can I live life only through the compassion? Give it a go. You'll see that the only thing that changes is that you cannot be moved by the negative emotions and you have way more love in your heart. But you're also discerning. You know? If somebody comes at you with like negative energy, it's such a contrast that you immediately feel and you can say, no thank you. No thank you. You know? And you don't need to worry about your vibe being changed because you don't have empathy towards it. They can act out, do whatever they want, but you have no reaction to it. And ironically, in the end, empathy, like what I'm trying to say, the empathy doesn't go away. You change the empathy towards something that is sustainable. If you have your heart open to the state of consciousness that is peace, the state of consciousness that is, again, you can use many words, you know, love, bliss, whatever, then you cannot be moved. Doesn't mean that you don't have emotions, you still have emotions, but those emotions are just natural, like energy that comes over every single person every day, and you just have that emotion and you process it, you know. But I think that those emotions would be less, and I don't think they would be related to another person. I think they would be just related to the energetical changes that are happening within the simulation that you're in. I don't know, I just don't want to go way too out there, but I just want to say that into your everyday life, just watch what empathy means. Just watch how your state can change just because somebody else is in another state. Do you like that? And what would happen if you cut that out and I shouldn't say cut that out, that's not a good word, because it's cutting the cord is like a very kind of sounds very violent kind of thing. And I think it's, you know, I think that the you don't get what you're intending with that. So it's more like you're closing your heart to suffering and you're opening your heart to compassion. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of voices in your head saying that, like, but don't believe them, because these voices are gonna say, well, then what's the difference between you and a psychopath? You know, because you are just basically letting go of empathy. Uh, and what about you're gonna lose your humanity, because how can you not have empathy for another human being? But what the reality is gonna happen is you're going to have empathy towards these compassionate states of being, and that in the essence is going to be the most help to the people around you. But you act through the compassion, not empathy. You see, this is what I'm saying, because empathy is attachment. Like if you're on somebody and you do something for them and they don't appreciate it and you throw it back in your face, you laugh about it. You don't go like, oh, motherfucker, why aren't you appreciating him? And you see the comedy in it and not the tragedy. And I don't know about you, but I would love to hang out with the people who are like that. You know, if I have my panties in a bunch, I don't want I don't want that type of person to lose their shit because I'm losing my shit. You know what I'm saying? So, and yeah, like a lot of that drops off. You know, like people to let the people be people. You know, there's a certain type of acceptance that is born through the compassion. You can never have that through the empathy, because you are still a sucker to all these energies that other people have. Ironically, the lesson of the empathy is the compassion. I think the empathy is only a bridge, a channel, whether you open it or close it. I think that's what the empathy is. But if you open that channel, you have to understand, like, who do you want to open that channel to? Do you want to open that channel to something that's sustainable, which is like a state of consciousness that they always exist, but you know they never go away. The states of consciousness, every single person can tune into these states of consciousness. If you have the, then you can kind of count on that, and of course that more likely going to bring the people who are in those states of consciousness, because that's what you connected to, that's what you start manifesting. You see, like, so all empathy towards a person is kind of bad. Well, if we talk about empathy in a way that if that person state changes and it moves your state towards like a more negative view, then by that definition it is bad, because you didn't have to go into that state at all. The only reason you did is because you had empathy towards something that is unsustainable and moves into good and bad, good, you know, like positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. So if you have your wagon hitched to this type of horse, don't be surprised that your life goes up and down and up and down, up and down, you know. But if you're done with this game, then hitch your wagon to the horse that is stable. And I have to tell you, it's not a person. Because even when you're dealing with a person, you're dealing with a certain type of spirit behind them. Mood, another word that you can easily understand. And if you want a more of the, I know like this idea that people say like, well, you should just like live a life in the bad and the good, you know, like when life is a basically accept the fact that like if something happening in your life it's with other people, that you have to bring yourself down, basically, you know, accept that fact that your life has to be yo-yo. And I call bullshit on that, because why would I want it? Like, I mean, I think I'm here to enjoy life, you know? I'm not here to be yo-yoed like a motherfucker. So if I can do that, if I can live life in a way that is more stable, more enjoyable, and then I'm gonna do it. Why would I not do this? You know what I'm saying? You can say, well, you lose your humanity. What is the humanity? Is that what you call a humanity? Constant fights, constant struggles. How can there be love? You know, jealousies, envies, all that stuff. I don't know. It comes to a certain point in life, then you realize that your life could be that just because you've experienced this all your life, it doesn't mean that that's how life is. Maybe that is not how life's supposed to be, or it's not what we're here for. That's why I question it. I question everything, because I mean, it's simple. I have the axiom of value. So you can say, well, how can you be in a state of compassion? What kind of life is that? You know, or don't you like have like don't you want to have ups and downs, or isn't that how life works? No, what happens is that the up and down isn't one. Up and down isn't one. Whatever the down can bring to me is here, and whatever the up can bring to me is here at the same time. The peace and the thrill is here. But if I started having the empathy to a person, then what they say matters, then you get hurt, and come on, man. See what I'm saying? And it's like this, the whole idea of having empathy to the person is imaginary too. So all you do is just like move that empathy from personality, because personality is a completely unstable thing. And by the way, I think you people would be much more appreciative of you if you bring the good spirits in them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the actual soul would be appreciative. They say like, thank you for not letting me go down into this negative downward spiral. Thank you for not going down into downward spiral with me, and thank you for bringing me up. That's what the soul would say. What the demon would say is, why don't you go in the fucking hell with me and play with me in hell? You know? So I think only the demon would protest this. Demon being. And this is why I'm saying, like, people who call themselves empaths, I never called myself empath, even though I had a lot of empathy to the people, which meant just I'm kind of moved around like a fucking marionette, you know. That's all it meant. And experiencing all sorts of emotions that is not even mine, thinking that that's a good person. And now I'm saying that that was my demon. My demon was that empathy that openness to something that is destructive. So I don't know. I think let's just cut the crap with this empath bullshit. I don't know. I did not meet a single person who would say, I love feeling all sorts of negative emotions of other people. I think most people, what they say, well, what can I do? I can't handle this. This is too much. I can't be around other people because I'm so open empathetically to them. I cannot function on other people. So you see what I'm saying? I don't think that's a good thing. You being an empath and not being able to function on other people, that's not a good thing. I wouldn't say it's a good thing, but if you can be around the people, but you're be in peace and not feel every single emotion that other person is feeling, and see it's not a nice place to be. On one level, you can stand and feel everybody's insecurities, everybody's fears, everybody's thoughts, all that shit. You can go crazy like that, And this is my invitation to say, hey, if you want to hang out around people and just be at peace and not be moved by all of this, let go of this idea to have empathy to the person and have empathy to the spirit. Because the person or the soul wants you to bring that out in them too. And it's not fake, like you go around the people and you go like, let's just all be happy. No, you just chill, man. Other people do their thing, but you're not moved. You're just chill. You're having fun. I don't know. I just look at what's going on, find the root cause, and make a change there, and then see what happens through the experiment and exploration of life rather than listening to someone. And if the whole society raises the status of the empath, I experience it and I question it and I say that that's nothing to celebrate. Just like with some of the men that become maniacs and people put them on a pedestal because they're the opposite of the depression. They're really manic depressive, like they're so manic that they just to handle depression, but they never really resolve anything. But it's the same thing with this. I'm saying it's the person who is that empathetic. It's not the functional person, first of all, and it's not happy, and other people are not happy with them. So let's just if you're listening to this and it resonates, I'm saying that you have a choice. We have a choice. Let go of this idea that empathy towards person, a vessel, is anything good. I will have compassion any time of day over the empathy. I would rather have compassion any time of day rather than empathy. I don't know, man. Like, I'm not trying to be like very categorical. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm careful to slice something that don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. But at this point, I don't see any benefit. You see what I'm saying? Unless there is something that you would like to on purpose, like let's say you would want to read somebody's energy. Well, reading somebody's energy is actually feeling somebody's energy, so you have to be careful with that. But I think there is still maybe the purpose of where you want to use it, but now at least you see this as a opening the channel and not just being open to all the negative influence on you. Now you are at least in a state of compassion. All the empathy cores are open to the spirits that are stable, and then if you make a decision to open to a person, obviously it must be some sort of purpose. Maybe you're reading their energy or whatever, you know. But after that, gone. But I don't know even if that would give you any kind of benefit, because it's never finding the information of what is wrong. It's never really a solution. I think just chilling next to this person in a state of compassion would probably be much more beneficial to this person than reading their energy and figuring something out, because figuring something out never really is a solution, you know, in terms of like this emotional state. I think I've over exhausted this issue. It's 42 minutes. Gonna have to slice it and dice it, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.